Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19, of course. If you're interested, again, thank you for some of you that have actually bought one already. Check out the couple of t-shirt designs I finally have up. Should be below the video. Go check those out if you're interested. Let's get going. We got to talk a little bit about Caitlin Clark's defense, because if there are two things that we hear over and over and over again from the Haitlins, from the slows, from the low IQ doorknobs, it is turnovers, which we've addressed very thoroughly, and it is defense. Oh, and of course, they like to say Angel Reese won a championship in high school, while they ignore Caitlin Clark's 3 gold medals and MVP of the U19 gold medal winning FIBA World Championship team as well. But hey, that's a story for another day. Let's talk about this. Check this out. We're going to go into Caitlin Clark's defense. Now, look at this. This is this season. Turnovers with Caitlin. Remember how I said they were turning it over more with 13.5, without 16? It's 15.5 to be fair, but round up. Opponent points off turnovers, 10.5 when Caitlin's in there, 20 when she's not. Points, 88. Now, look, yeah. Okay, I'm going to say that's for. Yeah, that's their point. Sorry about that. That's their. I almost completely messed myself up there. Yeah, 88 with Caitlin, 80 without. Fast break points, 12.3 with Caitlin, 2 without, right? They had a game with 0 and a game with 4. Paint points, even paint points more with Caitlin. Why? Because her and AB run the two-player game so well, and she is great with, say, Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell getting backdoor cuts when they're in the half-court offense, as well, of course, as the transition game. 47 paint points with, 38 without. Second chance points, yep, 15.3 with Caitlin, 11 without. Offensive rating, 105.1 with, 97.6 without. And look at defensive rating, 93.2 with, 102.4 without. So yes, some very, very key statistics, including defense, opponents' points off turnovers. So all those things we're talking about that say, oh, Caitlin turnovers, they're worse without her. The whole offense is worse without her. So the turnovers, like I said, are irrelevant because it's a net positive with the way she plays the game. And they're better defensively, both against the other team's transition off of turnovers, as well as just overall defensive rating. Is almost 10-point difference. So we're going to take a look at some things here, folks. We're going to take a look at some Caitlin Clark stuff and explain why she actually is a good defender, despite what people say. Does she have times where she's like out of place, or she kind of gets lazy with her stance and so forth, and plays a little too high? Which, by the way, most of them in the league do. There's not enough leg strength. They all got to be getting stronger. But anyway, here we go. Checking this out now. Here's just simple. She's just staying with her player. Bodies are up, forces her baseline under the basket for a tough shot. Okay, we're going to get another look at that. Bodies are up there, forces are all the way under. And then I'm just going to let this run, because this is the other thing we get Stephanie White when you let her go. We get the rebound from a layup position, and Caitlin Clark gets an uncontested layup out of that because of intelligence, and also because of pushing the pace and forcing the defenders to either they just don't even recognize it at all, and Caitlin gets a shot, or they scramble with who they are going to pick up because they're not in the proper position. Now, if you watch this, you'll see Griner is going to get the ball in the post. You can see where Caitlin is above Griner, working on the player opposite outside the three-point line. And this is where we get the intelligence and the game IQ from Caitlin Clark, not just offensively, but defensively. She's paid attention. She's aware of what's going on. She anticipates this ball to Griner just to do enough to help disrupt the shot. See how she slides, gets a hand in there that alters the shot. Okay, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that can be a big deal she's watching. She sees that. Well, now she's already moving before the pass even gets caught. She gets her hand in there, says, no, you're not going to go up clean. And now instead of a bucket, they have the ball. Now here we're going to watch same thing. She's out on top. She does a great job of keeping the player in front of her, which we keep telling is a problem. And again, recovers, forces into a tough situation, and it's a turnover. Now, I'll back that up just a little bit. This is, when you see the next one, this is Caitlin Clark coming backside again, basketball IQ to help, recognize where the pass is going, comes off of her player, comes over, gets the block. By the way, it just, if I may pause for a second, people talk about Caitlin Clark's one of the most athletic players in the league. I don't know why people don't want to recognize that. I mean, I think there's the obvious reason, the stereotype, but if you ask anybody who knows what they're doing, who trains athletes and works with athletes, there are a lot of factors, obviously, reaction time, like a whole bunch of different things. But if you said what's the one thing, the big indicator of athleticism, just pure physical athleticism, it is your vertical jump, of which Caitlin has a nice vertical jump at 6 feet. She plays taller than that when she wants to get in the air. Again, sliding, forcing that pass, no one getting into the paint. And then watch this. Everyone guarding Angel Reese should pick up on this. Great fundamental box out on that play. Now here we go. In the paint again, right? People try and take advantage of her in that. She plays physical, she bodies up, she keeps the player in front of them when they try and skip over. Gets a block, right? She almost bit on the pump, but she stayed low enough that she's quick, right? You saw her kind of all get off her feet, but boom, she was able, as soon as she hit that ground, to get back up again and get a hand on that shot. Right here, as you can see, that ball's being thrown in the post. Caitlin's fronting the player and does a great job here. She's right attached to her. She's fronting her, and the ball has to be perfect, and it isn't, right? So it's that girl's not getting that, and it's going out of bounds. So this is, again, great defense, and it's Caitlin playing physical defense. You all think she doesn't play defense. She plays defense. Now here, should have been Katie Lou, but they flip over, and Caitlin recognizes that and is able to run with her. Slides under it. It's a hand on that again, quick, great reflexes, and then comes back on that, and gets a hand in there to disrupt that shot as well. Now here, right? Did we see that? Did you see that from Mabry? Dirty little player she is, right? That is an offensive foul, by the way, just so we're clear, with that little forearm shimmer into the neck, but not called. And then Caitlin actually goes she goes over the pick, but she's, that's decent. Mabry should have that. She's gonna, again, Caitlin is quicker than we think. She's got a lot of athleticism because she is really trailing on that. Mabry's gonna go for the step back three, and Caitlin actually blocks that shot. All right, now look. Nice play here. That's actually a good crossover. She's got Caitlin trailing. The Melissa Smith, credit to Melissa, is in a good spot to help slow her down a little. Caitlin recovers. Look at that quickness, right? And then gets a block. A little bit of a block. The shot still went up, but she got a block on that. Now bodies up the player, keeps her in front, and now she gets some help backside, and they get a steal out of it. Right? And then we come a block. Again, go back a little bit on that one. Look where Caitlin is. Anticipation, basketball IQ. She's sliding into that. She recognizes if they come that way, they're going to come into me. She gets a block on a much bigger player. And now we're going to come down. And again, what's been missing? And now she's going to slide over up top. And boom, we got 3 points in transition, which is, 75% of the transition points they've got in the last 2 games combined. Now here we're going to see recovery. This is actually a nice entry pass, bigger player that Caitlin is on, but she recovers from behind because, again, she's athletic, good vertical. She gets a hand on this ball. Very nice recovery defense by Caitlin Clark. Now going the other end. Now it looks like, and you'll see Caitlin, again, athleticism, you'll see how quickly adjust. You look at this, it looks like this is a pass to, I think that's Rakia Jackson. Right, it's a little blurry when I stop it. To the right hand that's raised to the inside, right? So Caitlin's fighting that, and the pass actually comes backside to the left, and Caitlin adjusts, turns and adjusts, and gets a hand on that ball. Again, great defense. Now, again, physical on a bigger player. And this is wild because guess what? This battle you're seeing with Caitlin Clark, she actually gets the call on this, folks. Caitlin Clark got the call on that because of that arm up there. Again, battling against a bigger player. They think they can take advantage of that. Now, when you watch this, again, anticipation. She's in a great spot here. She's seeing her player that she's covering. She's also seeing the ball. She can close out if she needs to. She can also do what you're going to see here, which is help. Beat baseline. Caitlin comes and helps and disrupts that, so she forces the kick out. Now watch where she is, and she is going to close all the way back out. She hasn't given up on the play. We think, oh, good ball movement. We're going to get a 3 out of this, but she closes enough, doesn't get out of control, leaves enough space that a player can't just easily drive by her, cuts her off, and instead of going to the bucket, forces that shot, which is all, it's a good shot, but it's not nearly as good as it could have been without Caitlin Clark defense. So anyway, clearly this is nonsense about Caitlin Clark not being able to defend. You see it in the numbers, you see it there on the film as well. So you've got a lot of people who just don't want to hear it. They repeat what they've heard. They don't actually watch. They don't know basketball. They don't care because it's not about basketball for them. So they're just going to go, oh, turnovers. Oh, defense. Oh, she doesn't have a ring from 7th grade. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Check out the couple of t-shirt designs that are there already. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.